was thinking we could disappear, 'cause here it's greener on the other side. Greener on the other side. Greener on the other side. Greener on the other side.
Hey Year 5s, welcome to another amazing interview with a musician from Canberra. This is Zandy from Archie. Zandy, say hello to Year 5.
Greetings, Year 5. How's everyone going?
Hopefully pretty good. You can answer there. Sorry, Baxter's very excited as well because he loves having musicians around. Zandy, tell us a bit about yourself and about Archie.
Well, my name is Alexander Wanjura. And I played a band called Archie. And Archie's a 4-piece surf synth rock band from Canberra, of course. And we met each other at university, sort of formed a group and started playing music together. And then sort of had to come up with a band name, and that was really tricky. So we actually found the name Archie because that's my dog's name.
Oh, right, of course.
And we actually, we decided that Archie encapsulates all of the energy that we love, that we want to put into our music.
Well, I think that's awesome. Yeah, 5TA especially. We've had a lot of Google Meets during this COVID lockdown.
Of course, yeah.
And a lot of dogs have made an appearance, including Baxter a few times, who's still very excited.
Yes.
I don't know if Baxter would quite have the same ring to it as a band name that Archie does.
Archie does,
Archie definitely works.
I think that dogs just have such a pure energy that's like, they so just want to be around. That we wanted to put that sort of energy into our music.
I think that's awesome. And I don't want to hassle you too early because I know this is an interview and I don't want to ask you all the questions from myself.
No,
we do have some questions from Year 5, but you did say one thing there that I thought was really cool. You said that you are it was a surf synth rock band. Is that right?
Yeah, surf synth rock band. So
that's really cool because Year 5, we've looked a bit into different genres of music, through mostly the last 50 years. We looked at a bit of classical, then a bit of jazz, a bit of disco, a bit of rock, some different genres. So can you tell us a bit more about what that genre means?
Yeah, so surf synth rock, it's sort of, we love the beach. And I think that's where the sort of the surf comes into it, because that surf rock genre is a really interesting one for us and something that we really like writing music to. And sort of the synth part comes from actually just the synthesizer as an instrument, which we use in nearly all of our tracks.
Yeah, cool.
And especially on stage as well when we're playing live, we use the synthesizer. So, and then rock pop, it's sort of what we're trying to go for in our genre. So
well, yeah, I mean, Year 5s, especially 5TA, ended up looking into synthesizers a little bit when we were looking at disco and the start of EDM, electronic music.
Cool.
So it's really cool to hear that it's not just in EDM. It's in rock. It's everywhere.
It's in rock. Yeah. Synthesizer is a really popular instrument. Any of your big bands are going to use synthesizers on stage because it's such a full and exciting sound, and you can change it so much. So.
That's awesome. All right, well, enough from me. I'll stop talking now, and I want to hear from some Year 5s if that's cool.
Let's hear some.
I do have some questions from Year 5 in the Doge of Wisdom. Ready to get into some. We'll pull some out randomly. So let's see how we go. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so we'll just ask maybe a few questions.
That's all good.
So this first question is from Aria from 5SB. So this question is pretty cool, actually. At what age did you want to play in a band, and did you have any other dreams other than being a band when you were younger?
Well, I think I'll start a little bit about my musical journey, because I started playing piano when I was in kindergarten.
Wow.
And that's because Mum and Dad were like, oh, you should play an instrument. And I was like, oh, piano, that's great. Sort of didn't know what I wanted at that age. But I sort of got to Year 3, it might have been Year 4, and I decided that I didn't want to do piano anymore and that I wanted to play the drums.
The drums?
And the drums instantly hooked me just because of how fun it is to hit stuff.
Of course. I think a lot of Year 5 can relate to that.
And make loud noises. It is a lot of fun. There's so much to learn from just hitting instruments, from hitting drums, because you think about, you've got to do things with each limb independently. So you've got to hit the hi-hat with your right hand, you've got to hit the snare with your left hand, and you've got to kick a bass drum and control the hi-hat with your left hand. So the coordination that you need to play the drums is really cool. The question was, when did I want to play in a band? I think nearly as soon as I had played with any with another person. So
Yeah.
I think I had a couple of jams with my brother, and he was a pianist. And after that I was like, this is so cool. It feels really good to play music with other people. And I think, playing music is better than playing one specific instrument.
Yeah, cool. There was one other bit in there, sorry, Zandy,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
where Ari did say, and I think that's awesome. She
yeah.
did say, did you have any other dreams other than being a band? Because I think, a lot of people, maybe in year 5, think that, to be a successful musician like yourself, you have to give 100% every morning, every afternoon to music. Is that the case, or can you do other things as well?
You can 100% do other things. I definitely did other things. We had to get through high school. You've got to study. You've got to really, prioritize your schooling and making sure that you've, you're learning as much as you possibly can from school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, I really enjoyed playing tennis and getting out and surfing. And I think you can do anything that you want to do. As well as music. That's sort of where I'm at with all of that.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Ari, for that awesome question.
Great question.
Let's jump in and get some more. Ooh, this one's from a 5TA human. This one's from Evan, who says, how many people are in this band and how long did it take to make the song? So we've already heard a bit about Archie, the band.
Yeah.
You said there were 4 people in Archie, but how long does it usually take to make a song together?
The songwriting process is really interesting, and I think it changes from each song to song, song to song. We're really good with writing music together. I think this COVID lockdown we haven't been able to do it, and it's been really difficult to not be able to write music together. But we do sort of find that oftentimes someone will bring an idea into the band, and whether it be some lyrics or whether it be a chord progression, or I bring a drum beat or something like that, and we start that and we just jam it.
Yeah, of course.
So, and then you get to the jamming process, and all of a sudden you might have a verse or you might have a chorus of a song. You might have 2 different ideas and you put them together and they sound really good together.
Cool.
That's sort of the songwriting process. I would say it takes anywhere from an afternoon to 6 months.
Wow,
to write
it's a big range.
Yeah,
sometimes
massive.
it clicks, sometimes you really got to work it.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes, especially with Greener, we had to work it a lot. It changed a lot when we brought it into the studio.
Yeah, right.
From where it was when we played it live to where the recording ended up. It's quite different.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I should send you the first demo we had of Greener.
I think we'd love that, and maybe year 5 can check that out as well.
Yeah,
Really
absolutely.
Compare the two. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, thanks, Evan, for that question. This is another one from 5TA. This is Emily, who says, if you could choose any instrument, if you could play only one for the rest of your life, what would it be? Now, you've already told us that drums really.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything about learning the drums. I think it's 100% suited to me, and I think everyone in year 5 can find an instrument that they really love to play and stick with that, but also not be afraid to explore other instruments. We don't have to live in a world where you can only play one instrument. On the weekend, I bought a new guitar because I love playing guitar and I love songwriting and playing chords with mates down the coast. So
that's cool. That is very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, because I guess I know that some people in your band, might sing and play guitar, or not even electric guitar, maybe bass guitar.
Yeah. So Olivia, she plays bass guitar and sings, but she can also strum chords on a guitar, and Jeremy's strumming chords on a guitar, and then sometimes he goes to the synthesizer.
Yeah, awesome.
And so that's pretty cool.
So it doesn't just have to be one instrument.
It doesn't have to be one instrument.
Alrighty. This one is from Angela in 5SB, who says, how did you start playing the instrument and who encouraged you to do it? So we've already heard a bit about how you started playing the drums. You started playing with the piano and your parents encouraged you with that one.
Yeah.
What about the drums? What really inspired you to play the drums?
In my primary school, I had a year 5 teacher.
Oh, really? Whose
name was Michael McFadden. And Michael McFadden on Sundays would go to church and play the drums in the church, in my church that I went to. And I saw him play, it was actually an electronic drum set.
Wow.
And I saw him playing the drum set and I was like, that is so cool.
Wow.
I was really excited to see how, he was doing so many things at once.
Yeah.
That really inspired me. And,
so it inspired you to see someone else that you knew playing that instrument really well.
Yeah, and it developed, because I've had 4 drumming teachers in my life. and each teacher has sort of, of course, taught me something new about the instrument and what they take away from learning the drums. So I think that's a really important point there as well.
Oh, awesome.
Is sometimes a change in teacher is really good for instruments, because everyone has a different gauge of knowledge around that. So
That's awesome when different people can bring different
people-
perspectives.
Yeah, different perspectives.
That's
Definitely.
Alrighty. This question is from Sam from 5NV. And I like this question. This is a tricky question. What keeps you motivated when songs don't go the right way? Or if your songs aren't popular? What keeps you motivated then? That's a tricky question.
That is a tricky question. I think my motivation comes from spending time with my other bandmates. Because at the end of the day, we're all in it together with the band. We all have to deal with those problems together. And so, a lot of the times, if something doesn't go our way and we have to rework it, or we get stuck in a hole that's stuck in a musical hole that's not good, and no one knows how to get out of it, we have to sort of pull each other out of that hole and work through it together.
Yeah.
So, and motivation-wise, that'll come from a lot of the times actually having a break from whatever we're working on. So we'll stop working on whatever we're working.
Surf.
Go for a surf, or go for a walk, or just not listen to that song or that part of the song anymore and do something different. Whether even listening to other music, because that's crazy motivation. Music is so broad these days, and we have access to absolutely every type of music. Well, I want to say we have most access to most types of music. So but listening to something different and exploring other ideas where something might not fit is also really good way to bounce back from those tricky times. So.
Sounds to me like your band is also just a really good team.
Yeah, well, we're best mates.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're best mates.
That's really cool. All right, a couple more questions. I know we've been talking for a while. So this question's from Addy from 5NV. He says, what is the specialty for this band and why? So I guess what he means, like, what really does make Archie special?
I think the fact that we are best mates. I'm gonna come back to that, and the fact that we are best mates and that everything that we do often feels really natural. Like it's sort of it's like your fingers doing this. It's like it all comes together in the right time, in the right space. It all sort of fits together so nicely.
Well, I guess,
that feels really special to us.
Yeah.
And I feel like when it feels special to us, it can feel special to other people as well.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I think a lot of people who go to your live shows would feel that as well, that connection.
That's right.
That can be really, really special.
That's right.
Good answer. I reckon maybe just one more question.
One more question.
All right.
Sounds great.
This one's from Vash from 5NV. I think we've had a few 5NV questions. And they say, which song is your favorite and why? I'm gonna make that. Can you tell us which one is your favorite song to play with Archie?
Yeah.
And maybe one song or a musician that you like to listen to as well.
Yeah, I'll put a little plug out for our next release, which is called Closure.
Closure.
Yeah.
Cool.
So our next release is called Closure, and Closure is my favorite song for us to play live. It's not out on Spotify yet, but by the end of the year or early next year, it will be. We're just about to finish it, so it's really close to being finished, and it is so much fun to play live.
Oh, that's great. I'm sure it'll be fun to listen to as well.
The crowd's just dancing, it's just everyone's having a good time, and it's a real groove like Greener. So
that's great. All right.
I'm sure everyone in your classes will love it as well.
That's great. I'm definitely going to be passing on the link as soon as I can.
Yeah.
What about, are there any other musicians or other songs that you really...
Well, I take inspiration from so many different types and genres of music. Yeah. I studied music at university, so I listen to music. I listen to music so much. It's a daily activity for me, is listening to new music and discovering new music. So I wouldn't say that I have a favourite, but a couple of my favourites. I mean, I love the new Spacey Jane tune,
Yeah.
Lunchtime. I love any of Ballpark Music's releases.
They're a fantastic band.
Because they are a fantastic band.
Very similar kind of vibe and sound to you
Yeah,
guys.
to us, as well as a band called Parcels. And Parcels, they're actually from Byron Bay, and they live in Europe, and they've just got a new album coming out, and their music for me personally recently has been hitting really, really good notes.
That's pretty cool. I've been planning to look at a Parcel song with you 5.
Oh,
called
fantastic.
Every Road pretty soon.
Every Road is a fantastic
So maybe
tune.
we'll check out that one soon.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining Baxter and me. Baxter's been very, very happy to have another musician in the house.
Yeah, another musician in the house.
Thanks for that. And
Cheers,
Year 5,
guys.
I reckon the demo for Greener will be playing right about now. So
Yeah.
enjoy that. See you guys.